Alright everybody, what I'm going to do first is go over a list of the products that I've used to create this card. And this is the card that we're going to be mimicking. Let me see if I can put it up there a little bit so you can see it. See how it's all sparkly. And no two cards look exactly alike when I make them anyway, whether I mass produce them or do them one at a time. But what I'm going to use is I have the birthday sketch stamp set from Fun Stamper's Journey, and I'm going to take these out, and I want to use the balloons, so I'm going to put them on the acrylic block and set that aside. I also want to use the happy birthday sentiment, so I'm also going to put that on an acrylic block and set it aside. And I'll just put these back in their storage container. Kind of clear out my workspace. Okay, what I've done is I have taken 8.5 by 11 whipped cream cardstock, and I've cut it into 4 sections that end up being 5 1/4 by 4. And that fits nicely on top of a card base. And for my card base, see how there's that perfect frame around the white. My card base is black licorice cardstock, and all I do is cut a piece of 8.5 by 11 in half. So that makes it 5 1/2 by 8.5. And then to get my card base, I'll fold it, crease it, and I'll use my bone folder in order to make sure that my crease is nice and tight. So then, when I get done with this piece of cardstock, when I've done decorating it, you can see it'll fit perfectly with a nice black frame around the edge. Alright, what I do is I use a mouse pad. They make special, I can't think of the word, I'm having a mental block. Special, yep, that's it. They make special pads that you can use to put under your piece of paper that you're stamping on. But a mouse pad, we have several of those lying around, so I just used a mouse pad because it's got the same give that that special made pad is going to have. I found that it works for me. It's worth a try. If it doesn't work for you, you can always invest in the special pad that I can't think of the name of in order to do your stamping. And then I pull out a piece of scratch paper because I like to make sure that what I'm stamping stamps clearly first on the scrap paper before I take it and put it on my piece of paper that I'm going to use for real. So the first thing I want to do is I want to take my balloon stamp and my black licorice ink. And you can do this with any products that you have at home. If you already have ink and you already have a balloon stamp, then I would just use what I already have. There's no sense in investing in something that you've already got. And again, I'm just going to mimic what I did on the card that I made earlier. So this is what I do. Take it and I stamp it. And see, I missed a little bit on the edge, so I'm going to ink it up again. And I like to stamp it the way I want it to look on my scratch paper before I actually stamp it on the cardstock, because cardstock's not cheap, so there's no sense in wasting it, you know. And that looks better. Still missing a little at the top, but when I stamp it for real, I'll make sure that I press on the top. Alright, so this is my last time inking it up. Well, hopefully. Thank goodness there are 2 sides to every sheet of paper, because I can't tell you how many times I've used both sides. Alright, so here we go. Make sure I'm on my mouse pad. I want to leave room for my sentiment on the bottom. So I'm going to press. Make sure I press up top where I seem to be having the issue. And this time turned out just right. I am going to wait on stamping my sentiment because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, first I'm going to color. And I'm going to use my Tombow markers to do that. And these are the colors. And I really like the way the balloons turned out on my other project. So I'm just going to mimic what I did on that one, color it the same color. Alright, so I have pulled out this little tray, and it has a hole. Normally there's a plug in it, but I've taken the plug out. And I use this tray when I'm doing glitter or embossing powder to catch the excess. So now I'm going to take my Fun Stamper's Journey glaze, and I'm going to I put my Journey glaze on my balloons. Just gives them a dimensional look. So now I'm going to take my Journey Sparkle Dust. Let's see. And I'm just going to coat them. And this is why I could have probably gone ahead and done my sentiment, because by the time I got done coloring the balloons it would have been dry. So, and then what I did, this is a General's pastel chalk pencil, and in order to give the image some dimension, I just make a little shadow along the outside of the image. And there you go. This is the finished product. And I took my red Tombow marker, this one, and went around the edge of the piece of cardstock just to give it a little definition, and then I just took a black pen and did some stitching around the edges. And you can see where the gray is around the balloons on this one. And like I said, it just gives it that extra pop. And you can do this with all of the images that are on this particular stamp set. So for this image I just put the glue, and I think I used a Zig glue pen for the hat. And again, I took my gray chalk pencil and went around the outside just to give it that extra pop. And I just used the Tombow markers to color. And the cupcake, I actually stamped the cupcake image, the cupcake image on some foil paper, and then cut out the cupcake wrapper and put it on the image that I'd already stamped, and then just used Journey Glaze on the frosting, and then colored the cherry red and used Journey Glaze and glitter in order to get that glittery. And stitching on this particular card, as well as the black card base, which just kind of popped it a little more. And cut out, using some dies that I had, the circle in red and then the scallop circle behind it. So that's the technique, and I'll show you how this works. This little tray captures all my glitter, and then so that I don't waste any glitter, you use the little hole to place glitter back in the container. I hope this was helpful. If you see any products that you would like, you can go to my Fun Stampers Journey website and you can purchase those. If you have balloons and cupcakes, or maybe you don't want to glitter up a birthday type image, you just want to use glitter on another image that you have in mind, this is a technique that I've used that I've been very happy with. Do let your image dry. That's it for now. Have a great day. Excuse me. And be inspired. Bye.